Man, a long distance to long. What's going on, guys? Dr. Sexy, and here is 2016. And of course, we're starting out the year with some questions from you guys. Now, this question comes from Brian. Now, Brian wants to know, why can't he last for 4 hours during sex? 4 hours, Brian. Anyway, the question goes, I hear men talk about having intercourse for hours, yet for me, I usually do about 20 minutes. Is there something wrong with me? Why can't I last for 4 to 5 hours while I'm having sex like my friends? Can you recommend something? Brian. Now look here, Brian. Between me and you, your friends are lying. Let's start there. The first thing is, when it comes to time during sex, intercourse we're talking about, we don't have any concept of how long anything is lasting. Think about it. If you can tell exactly how long it's lasting at the time, then maybe you're not doing something that you're supposed to be doing, because you're supposed to be so caught up you don't even realize where the time goes. But outside of that, let's talk about some literal real numbers. Now, when people talk about sex, we're talking about intercourse. We're not talking about the foreplay and the time when you stop to go drink some water and you're giggling and you little caress on the neck and then you're sucking on nipple. And we're not talking about any of that. We're talking about intercourse. We're talking about when something is inserted in something and something starts moving. So wherever you insert, whatever you insert, that's the time we're talking about. Now let's talk about the amount of time, that average. We're talking about average number, what the statistics says. Now, the average length of intercourse is 6 to 13 minutes. Average. Of course, some people are above average, some people are below average. Some people give you a good 3 minutes. I really focus on the quality of the experience and not so much the length of the experience, but I'm different. Now, the average length of time for intercourse, we're talking about heterosexual intercourse, is 6 to 13 minutes. Now, that's average. So, of course, there are people who are above average and there are people who are below average. Now, when you're doing something repetitively over a period of time, it seems longer than it actually is. So if I was to sit here, for example, and just clap for 3 minutes straight, it will feel like I'm clapping for half an hour, because I'm doing an action. So let's try it out. So I'm going to start clapping when I'm talking. And this is going to be very annoying, but just to prove a point. I'm going to clap for, alright, hold on. Let me not start clapping. Let's go set the time. Alright, so we're going to set the time at la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di. We're going to set it at 1 minute. Go. So I'm going to start clapping right now while I talk. Now, as it relates to the amount of time that people actually take during intercourse, it is not 4 hours. Now, it is not pleasurable to be doing intercourse for 4 hours, because then your body starts to respond a certain way. She starts to dry up, you start to dry up, it becomes very uncomfortable for both of you, and at the end of the day, it is no longer feeling good. So if you're going for 4 consistent hours, that is not fun at all when it gets to a certain point. Yes, you can have too much of a good thing. So far, I'm gone 35 seconds. Now, as it relates to what your friends say, men them boast and brag a lot in the parties, and trust me, a lot of what them say under the influence of alcohol cannot be taken anyway, because they're just chatting. And that's really what it is. It's a bunch of chat. Now, whenever you see the Viagra commercial, they always say that if you have an erection lasting 4 hours or longer, please contact your doctor. And that is important, because if you have a 4 minutes or longer, 4 hours or longer erection, then that would mean that you are getting into a stage of priapism. And I'll tell you what that is in a minute, but I've gone over a minute in clapping, and this is annoying even me, so I'm going to stop right now. So just see my point? Whenever you're doing any one activity for an extended period of time, it seems a lot longer than it actually is. Now let's talk about priapism. Now, what happens in priapism is that how the penis becomes erect, it's that the blood vessels inside of the penis expand, and so more blood can fit into the penis, and that's why it goes from being flaccid to being erect. Now, if that blood inside of that penis gets stuck there, basically the flow is not going from the penis to the body, because that's really what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a flow. Now, with an erection that's lasting over 4 hours, and a lot of times it's drug induced, or maybe they're using some kind of harness that they tie up their penis for whatever reason, the blood is no longer flowing. What happens is that it gets stuck inside of the penis. Now, this can cause a bunch of problems, including it can fail your blood vessels. It can cause a lot of, it can be very painful, and it can cause a lot of effects after it actually comes. And what you have to do What you have to do to get rid of this condition is actually visit a medical professional. Now, sometimes when you go to the doctor, they'll give you an injection, or they might have to surgically cut it so that the blood can run out. Either way, priapism is no fun. So you should not be trying to hold an erection for 4 hours straight. Anyway, your 20 minutes are just about good. It's above average, and if you make it a good quality 20 minutes, you should be just fine. So stop trying to meet unrealistic demands. I know some of your friends, them chat is chatting. Now, some time when they say 4 hours, they mean they're including the foreplay in it, and they're including time when they take a little nap, and they wake up back and they start again, and they're including the time when they were doing some oral action, and they get a chance to rest and all that. So they're not just talking about the intercourse. When people talk about going first for 4 hours or more, they go all night long. They're not having no intercourse for no hour, no night, no long. Don't make them trick you. Okay. Anyway, keep your questions coming, guys. Just send them to drsexylive@gmail.com, and definitely check out my website, drsexyan.com. And I tell you, don't worry about the length of time that you're doing it. Worry about how good it feels, the quality of your connection, and how much fun you're having. And without a doubt, ensure you get a few orgasms while you're there. Alright? And of course, we have a lot of stuff coming. Stay tuned right here on Dr. Sexy TV. I've got a lot of new things coming on. Girlfriends is still on the 31st of January. And of course, if you stay tuned and follow me on social media at Dr. Sexy on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you'll definitely be up to date with everything that's going on, Dr. Sexy. Alright? Thank you guys for watching again, and subscribe to the channel, share it, tell your friends, and we talk another time. Send me the questions. This is Dr. Sexy, and later, guys.